They put a lot of emphasis on the corporal works of mercy. Why? So they don't have to talk about dogma. If you're talking all the time about feeding the poor and doing all these nice things, everybody's like, oh, we're so impressed with you, Catholic Church. That's fantastic. But then the Catholic Church never has to speak about the things like heaven, hell, death, judgment, and so forth.
The real problems in the Church are not being discussed. The mass apostasy of the baptized, liturgical formlessness, and abuses in the Novus Ordo, no priestly vocations in many parts of the Church. Widespread heterodox preaching, catechesis, university theology, and pastoral practices that contradict Catholic doctrine.
And where she's really missing in action, this post-conciliar dumpster fire of a human element of the Church, where she's really missing in action, of course, is the spiritual works of mercy. Do you remember those? Little things like, for example, to instruct the ignorant. This is a spiritual work of mercy. But as we all know nowadays, we're asking the ignorant for their leadership and their input in directing the future of the Church. Aha, you're a moron, I see. Could you please tell me how we should direct the Church in the future? To counsel the doubtful? Well, now what they do is they confirm them and they terrorize them. They don't clarify anything. It's called synodality. And if you're doubtful, if you're confused, synodality will only double down on that doubt and confusion. Do you remember to admonish the sinners? One of my favorite, because they've completely given up on that in the modern church. Rather than admonishing the sinners, again, this is biblical-based spiritual work of mercy, rather than doing that, what do? They bless the sinners, and they treat them like rock stars. Oh, you're just fine just the way you are. Don't worry about it. No, it's perfectly fine. We don't judge. No, sir. All right? How about to comfort the afflicted? Well, they don't do that anymore, do they? They would prefer to mask up the afflicted, lock their churches, lock them down, right? Have them injected with Bill Gates' joy juice. Insist on it. We saw the afflicted during COVID being locked in nursing homes and not being given last rites by the Church of Accompaniment. One more, to pray for the dead. This is also a spiritual work of mercy, which no one talks about anymore. Pray for the dead? Are you kidding? What's the point? All the funeral. Well, it's not a funeral anymore. It's not a requiem anymore. That's a massive Christian burial, which everything is white and pleasant and happy. And instead of the Dies Irae, you have gonna take a sentimental journey, right? Who knows, whatever it might be, nonsense. I was at one recently where the priest burying the deceased said, "It's fantastic today. We are here to celebrate the fact that God has made good on his promises to the deceased, which he made to the deceased at baptism." And obviously he made good on it. How do we know he made? Well, back up. I thought we made promises to God through our godparents at baptism. Do you renounce Satan and all his works and pomps, right? I thought we were the ones who were kind of making promises. So everything is inverted. Spiritual works of mercy, gone, And so that's why when the new Pope comes on, now we're going to talk about the poor people. Well, we've all seen this before. We got the t-shirt, we got the hat, we got the tiara, we got it all, right? We know what it means.
But popes like John the 23rd, Paul the 6th, John Paul II, Benedict the 16th, and of course Pope Francis have consistently spoken of the need for the Church to be in solidarity with the poor and for Catholics to be in solidarity with the poor.
I would argue, as an aside, we should pull the Catacombs Pact thing out again, because that's all that was about too. And that's Francis, that is the core belief of Francis's pontificate, the Catacombs Pact, which was all about the Church of the poor and tearing down all of the triumphalism of tradition, right?
And again, all week long, for the past 2 or 3 weeks, we keep hearing this mantra that the Church is going to become the Church of the poor, as though the Church had no connection to the poor of the past, as we've explained so many times. And this is one of those things that you should just have like this at your fingertips. When anybody brings this up, that the Church of Vatican II now cares about the poor, just remind them that the Catholic Church invented the idea of hospitals, invented the idea of orphanages and soup kitchens and schools all across the world for a couple thousand years. She knew a little something about the poor.
So now, poor dear Pope Leo, and I do think Pope Leo means well. There is. I stand by what I said. He does seem to have the faith. I think he's much better, and he's really a well-intentioned man. Comparisons are odious, so we won't talk about the previous pontificate. But that doesn't change the fact he's been made to believe, or he actually believes it, it's hard to say. But the idea now is you must do a pretty good Francis impression. That's what you got to do, Holiness. Get out there and do a Francis impression for the world, you know? I have a hunch that's going to wear pretty thin, even with Leo, pretty quick. Let's hope and pray that that's what happened, because that's what will happen. Because the world has had enough. Enough of Francis. I mean, nobody cared except for Nancy Pelosi and Cardinal Flippich, Joe Biden, people like that, you know, Austin Ivory and Jimmy Martin. Nobody else cared about what happened over the past 12 years. Like, what is going on up there in the Vatican, right? And now Bono is too old. They can't roll him out to put some dirt in a planted potted tree or whatever. Well, maybe not, because they got Arnie Schwarzenegger.
But the reason why I call him an action hero is because as soon as he became the Pope, he ordered the Vatican to put solar panels on top of the buildings. Think about that.
Do they actually think that Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to go over big with the kids? Why is he there then? Why is he an authority on anything? No, he's a buffoon. He's a cigar-smoking buffoon. So what's the point of all this, you know? I mean, blessing popsicles isn't going to cut it. What good grief, what is this? And everybody, the whole world is looking at this like, what are you doing? What is it, like a Slurpee? It's like a Freezy? What are you doing, Holiness? Yeah, the Holy Father rightly speaks out against polarizing people, but then he blesses polar ice, thus polarizing the whole world.
Lord of life, bless this water.
So what do? We got to keep praying for the man. We have to understand the diabolical disorientation that affects all of us, including popes and bishops and cardinals. And we have to keep resisting that spirit of Pope Francis, which is obviously haunting the Vatican, like the spirit of Rebecca was haunting Mandalay.
It's not only in this room, it's in all the rooms in the house. You can almost hear it now. Do you think the dead come back and watch the living?